I'm Brown Beauty, and I'm going to tell you about the story that Henry Longfellow wrote about me and my friend Paul Revere. Listen, my children, and you shall hear of the midnight ride of Paul Revere. On the 18th of April in 75, hardly a man is now alive. He said to his friend, if the British march by land or sea from the town tonight, hang a lantern in the highest arch of the North Church Tower as a signal light. One if by land and two if by sea, and I on the opposite shore will be, ready to ride and spread the alarm through every Middlesex village and farm, for the country folk to be up at arm. For suddenly all his thoughts are bent on a shadowy something far away, where the river widens to meet the bay, a line of black that bends and floats on the rising tide like a bridge of boats. Meanwhile, impatient to mount and ride, booted and spurred with a heavy stride, on the opposite shore walked Paul Revere, now gazed on the landscape far and near. Then impetuous stamped the earth, and turned and tightened his saddle girth. But mostly he watched with eagle search the belfry tower of the old North Church. He springs to the saddle, the bridle he turns, but lingers and gazes. A second lamp in the belfry burns. A hurry of hoofs in the village street, struck out by the steed that flies fearless and fleet. That was all, and yet through the gloom and the light, the fate of a nation was riding that night. And the spark struck out by that steed in his flight kindled the land into the flame with its heat. He has left the village and mounted the steep, and beneath him, tranquil and broad and deep, is the mystic meeting the ocean's tides, is heard the tramp of his steed as he rides. You know the rest, in the books that you've read, how the British regulars fired and fled, how the farmers gave them ball for ball, from behind each fence and farmyard wall, chasing the redcoats down the lane, then crossing the fields to emerge again, under the trees as the turn of the road, and only pausing to fire and load. So through the night rode Paul Revere, and so through the night went his cry of alarm, to every village and farm, a cry of defiance, and not of fear, a voice in the darkness, a knock at the door, and a word that shall echo forevermore. For borne on the night wind of the past, through all of our history to the last, in the hour of darkness, in the peril of need, the hurrying hoofbeats of the steed, and the midnight message of Paul Revere.